Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a good lunch. The team and I, they decided to send me up to share something pretty special with you before we get back into, the normal stuff that we're going to talk about, investing and all that. So all of you know about the 10-year challenge, where basically you show photos of how you look like 10 years ago compared to how you look like now, and the stories in between those two photos, because it's not just looking different, it's about your growth as a person, correct? So yesterday I mentioned that the fifth person is 5 years old. Okay, so we celebrated a birthday a few days ago, and we wanted to show you some photos of our journey as a company, as friends, and how we've grown over the years, and how this story actually relates to you as well, because all of you here have played a part on this journey with us. So, are you ready for some old photos? Old but younger, okay? All right, so let me get a clicker. I need to turn this on. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. So, this is the five of us actually. We started this company with 5 people. Then you get Kenji, that's me, Victor, Rusmin, and then there's Murphy. So, how do we look? I think Victor and Rusmin look a lot slimmer, huh? I think I look the same. I think so. I don't know. You tell me. And then Kenji obviously looks the same. Okay, but the reason why, if you look at Kenji, it's quite funny. He doesn't seem to age. He has some special power. Anyway, jokes aside, this is a photo of 5 guys in a bedroom. My bedroom. Okay. This photo is from, I think, November 2013. This is before we actually founded the company, and we came together as friends and said we wanted to, really inspire people to invest, how to invest for the future, how do you avoid the scams out there, and really take care of your finances, and, and for yourself and for your loved ones. So we actually came together. We had no office. We had no, we have no garage. Singaporeans have no garage usually. So this is actually my mom's house, and this is in the bedroom. So Google started with like 2 guys in the garage, right? We started with 5 guys in the bedroom. It's a lot more exciting, right? So this was in 2013, and we started with no office. So we were working in Starbucks or anywhere we could find, and then we founded a company. And then pretty soon, we moved to this office. As you can see, it's like really, really tiny. But this office was in Paya Lebar, Eunos there. It actually belongs to Adam Khoo. You guys know Adam Khoo? Yeah, I've known him since I was 18 years old. And he's helped me out a lot in my life so far. And he heard that I started a company with my friends. So he gave me a call and said, and we share the same name, right? So he's like, hey, Adam. And I said, yes, Adam. It's kind of like Muttons in the morning, right? Hey, Mutton. Yeah, it's a Mutton. So he said, hey, I heard that you started a new company. Do you guys have an office? I said, no, we're totally fine. We don't really need an office. We're working in Starbucks and all that. We want to save costs. We're still young. I said, you know what? I just moved to a new place in Eunos. I have a new office there. Why don't you just grab one of my rooms and use it? I said, for free? And he said, yeah, sure, for free. We just have an empty room. Why don't you guys just use it? Because I really have no use for it. So I said, okay, yeah, thank you so much. So we all came to the office, and we were really grateful. And he never asked me for anything. He didn't ask for rent. He didn't ask for any favors or anything. He just said, just use the office. And he's a really great friend to me, and he's helped us a lot as well. So this is our office. It looks pretty small, but when you put like 5 guys in there, it looks really, really small. So this is actually 5 of us, and I think Victor is taking a photo. Yeah, Victor's the one taking a photo. And this is the entire room. Victor is at the door, and this is how it will work in the office almost every single day. It was so tiny, but we were really grateful that we had a space where we could really come together and collaborate among the 5 of us, and just move things a lot faster. So we were there for about 6 months to a year, and after a while, we really didn't want to impose too much on Adam and his company. So we moved to this really nice place in Orchard Road. So it looks pretty good, right? Yeah, but it doesn't belong to us. It's a co-working space. All right, so we actually found this space in Orchard. It was a great location, and it was really convenient for all of us. And it was a co-working space, so it was really reasonable in price. We just had to pay a membership, and we could just work in this common area here. And then our business continued to grow. And then we decided, look, you know what? This space is really, really nice. Why don't we get one of the offices in this co-working space so that we have some place to put our stuff, do our webinars and all that. So we said, yeah, why not? So we decided to get one of these little cubicles you see here. Yeah, that's it. This was our office. You know how much this thing costs? It's literally a table and a chair. Maybe you could squeeze 2 guys in there, but it's going to be like a bit, 2 guys together. All right. You know how much this costs? You want to make a guess? It was $900 a month. Yeah, just for this. Yeah, but at least we had this space outside, so we could still, 4 or 5 guys could come together. So this is it, $900 a month. And by the time we left, this space was, I think it was like they were charging us, not charging us, but charging other people maybe about $1,200, $1,400 just for a table in Orchard Road. Okay. And if some of you have been with us 2 or 3 years ago, we sometimes we do our Q&A webinars, right? At night. We basically take your questions and give you our answers about investing and all that. And we would actually do the webinars right here. Me and Victor, me and Rusmin, squashed to each other, and then there's a mic right in front of us, and we just deliver the webinar. And then after a while, we decided, you know what, things are looking really good, and we moved to a bigger office at the same place. They have those rooms with a proper door and everything, and we upgraded to the space, and it was really, really nice. So you have a view of Orchard Road. There's a lot of natural light. It felt really, really good. And it motivated us to come to the office and do things together. All right, so this was our office. And then it reached a point where, Victor was saying, we can't always be working in a co-working space. It doesn't really belong to us. It's not our office, right? We don't have our culture there. How do we grow a team? How do we expand? So when Kenny came along, he said, we need to get our own office. We can't just be co-working all the time. So we decided to finally move to a space where we could call our own, which is like this. So we have our signboard, and this is our waiting area and all that. Yeah, I designed this, I actually put it together. All right. Oh, thank you. It actually looks really expensive, but actually it's quite cheap. The furniture and all that. You just have to pick the really expensive looking pieces. Yeah, sorry? Value investing. All right. So this is our waiting area. You come see us, you'll be sitting right here. There's a magazine of Victor right here. There's a Forbes magazine. Actually really looks like him, this billionaire Chinese guy. Just a bit fatter. And then we have our stuff and all that. So this is our office now. If you're ever in the area, this is at Burlington Square. It's right next to Simmons Square. This is our office. We have an espresso machine. And this is our working space. Okay, so it feels great. It's a lot of light, feels a lot of natural energy. I love that. And there's also a studio and all that, but I don't have photos. I don't have photos of that. Yep. Okay, and then of course, things were moving along really, really well. And we have a picture of Baby Groot with our SGX award and all that. Okay, so the thing is, everything takes time. That took 5 years. When we won the SGX award, we moved to a new office, right? And then a few months later, we won the SGX award. And then a friend came up to me and said, you know what? Not bad, You change office, the feng shui better, then you win the award. I said, yeah, but it's not really that. We've been doing this for 5 years. We've been writing articles for 5 years. And it's only in the 5th year that we got the award because the SGX decided to do an inaugural award to recognize quality content online. We've been doing it for 5 years. We've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of articles. So my point is, everything takes time. We couldn't jump from that space or from Starbucks straight to our current office just like that. We had to build it. We had to grow it. We had to make a lot of decisions to grow the company in a sustainable way. And everything takes time. It's kind of like what Warren Buffett said. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by making 9 women pregnant. Okay. It's actual quote, right? I think, but some men will still try. Who knows, right? But anyway, that's the thing. Everything takes time. So the thing is, when we started this company 5 years ago, it wasn't just about business. Yeah, we wanted to help people, we wanted to inspire people, but there are also people out there who are less fortunate than us, right? They don't have the opportunities we have. You're all in an auditorium here, sitting very comfortably. You have the free time to come listen to me talk, to listen to Victor and Rusmin talk. Some people just don't have that privilege. So when we started this company, we always wanted to be very clear that we also wanted to do our part for the community and for charity. And some of you may know about that, some of you may not, but I'm going to share with you today. We've been building this for 5 years. Again, it takes time. It wasn't something that springs up automatically. Okay, and it's not just us doing it. All of you are part of this as well. Because without you, we won't be around. And without, having us doing, without you guys, there won't be a charity aspect to our company as well. Okay, so when you help yourself, you help others. Do you know that every time you educate yourselves, you learn something about investing, you come to an event like this, or you come to one of our workshops, everything that we do, a portion of it goes to charity. We have something called dividends for donations. And what we do is a portion of our profit is put into charity, but it's not as simple as that. A lot of companies, they make a profit and then they kind of like take away a portion and they donate it straight away. What we did was, Victor and Rusmin were saying, you know what? We need something more sustainable. We can't just, what if one day the company is no longer around? How do we continue to help people? So we said we need to invest. Anyway, we're investors, right? So what we do is we take a portion of our profit, we put it into a fund, which we invest, and then it earns dividends, and then we donate those dividends to charity. It's more sustainable. So if one day, if the company is no longer around, at least the fund is still around to continue to donate to charity. So that was the idea. And if you're a member of Dividend Machines Pro, how many of you are members? Yeah. You will know that we actually have a live real money portfolio that shows you what we invest in for dividends. And that is actually for charity. Okay? And the money that's there doesn't belong to us. I mean, right now we still control it, but it doesn't come to us. In the end, everything goes to charity. So what we do is we set aside money and then we donate as we see things along the way. Okay, so when we first begin this company, can you guess how much we set aside for charity? Just make a guess. 10,000. At the very start, no, it's not so much. But thank you so much for believing in us. It was only $19.40. That was it. We actually had this workshop where we were covering some shipping companies, and we sold about a few seats. And then we took, after deducting all the costs and all that, we had some profit, and then a portion of that we set aside for charity. It was about $19. That was it. Today, after 5 years, it is now $81,103. And I want to make the point that it's not us doing it, it's all of you. You have donated, you have contributed to this as well. It's all of you, all of us here today. So this is the money that's been set aside. Some of it has been donated. Some of it is still in the fund that continues to earn dividend income for charity. And as the business continues to grow and we earn profit, again, we will take away a portion of that and inject that capital into the fund. Okay, so where does the money go, right? It's not just a number, it looks really nice, but these are the charities that we've donated to as well, and you have donated to. So it's like Milk, Mainly I Love Kids, Make-A-Wish, Cancer Society, School Pocket Money Fund, Children's Society in Singapore. So we have all the certs and all that. And, and then the SGX Bull Charge as well, so we support the initiative. They support 6 charities, the SGX does that, okay? And very recently, because I had to do this presentation, I had to go and look through all the receipts of where we've actually donated our money, right? And I realized we actually have donated to a church, to a welfare home that's actually a welfare arm of a temple, and a woman's home that has its roots in the Muslim community. So we're only missing the Hindu one. So maybe this year we're going to find a a Hindu charity to give to. But this is not on purpose. I just happened to look through and say, hey, we did three religions somehow, okay? And besides that, we also had, sometimes disasters happen. This was in 2013. It was the typhoon in the Philippines, okay? And we donated this in 2014 as the rescue efforts continue on. We donated, this is the Nepal earthquake, and I have a story for this, because all of us were supposed to go to Everest. We actually booked, do you guys remember Groupon? No, I don't think it's around any longer. But we bought a Groupon deal that would say, bring us to Everest Base Camp. And of course, I was 5 years younger. I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And so we actually paid for it. It was about $1,000, $2,000, excluding the flights and all that. And we were supposed to go the year, I think the avalanche hit. You remember, guys? There was an avalanche first. We were supposed to go. And then the avalanche came, it killed Sherpas and all that. And then, of course, we're not going to go, right? They said, let's do it next year. And then next year, the earthquake happened. And then there's no way we could go again. So in the end, we haven't gone. Only Kenji has gone. Somehow he went by himself. He went to Everest Base Camp. But Victor, Rosemary, and myself, we just decided, you know what, we're too old for this. We're not going to do it anymore. And my wife won't let me go as well. So this is Everest. We donated to that as well. And then this one, I want to share this because this one really made an impact on us. We were in Florida last year for a business conference for a few days, and they did the same thing. They have someone from a charity, a nonprofit, come and share about, what they do. And this one was really, what's the word? It's really, okay, so what they do, this is Tim Bollard, and he's the founder of this organization called OUR, Operation Underground Railroad, okay? And what they do is they actually rescue children from sexual slavery, okay? So think about that. It's like there are people out there that are forcing kids to do crazy stuff, and they're abusing and using these kids for their own things, okay? So this organization goes around and they actually bust these people. They have runs, they have guns. They actually go to these places and they basically bust these people out. They try to break up all these prostitution rings and all that. So they had a really, really powerful video. It was eye-opening. And at the end of it, we really wanted to help. So we actually did our own contribution for this. And Victor actually wanted to join the squad. You see those guys there, right? They actually do, besides just taking donations, you can volunteer to actually bust these pedophiles, okay? Victor wanted to join. And if he wants to go, of course, right? Because he's got Muay Thai skills and all that. So this was quite impactful for us, rather than just charity. It was actually to us, it was something different. And it really touched us, and a lot of people in the room as well. Some people were crying. Okay, and it really posed a question to us: how do we make a bigger impact? Because, in Singapore, we live in a great country, right? We have lots of things to be grateful for, even though it's not perfect. And I'm sure, yes, there are less privileged people here, and we still need to help them. At the same time, how do we make a bigger impact with our donations? All right, so Kenji actually found this, and it's something I want to share with you, okay? So this is a picture of basically like war, all right? Do you guys remember what happened in 2007, 2008? It was a financial crisis, right? In Kenya, they had their own crisis as well. It was a 2007, 2008 Kenyan crisis. And what happened was that they ran an election. The president, Kibaki, okay, he actually won the election, but then the opposition party was saying, it's not fair. There were actually, there were manipulation in the votes and all that. And they started to stage protests, okay? In Malaysia, we had that, right? Maybe a few years, not the current one, but the last one, where basically you had the lights go off, and then the ballot boxes disappear, Remember that? Okay, so that was in Malaysia. But when it happens in Malaysia, it's like, hey, kelong ah, you can't do that. But in Kenya, it got really, really serious. It was the opposition supporters, they staged protests that became violent very, very quickly. Because Kenya is also split along ethnic lines. Okay, so the president won the election, but the opposition were from another ethnic group. Okay, and they were really unhappy with what happened with the elections, and they started to stage protests, and it became really violent. And it started one day when they basically locked up 50 people, kids, women, in a church, and then burned down the church. And it just kickstarted the whole crisis in Kenya. So what happened was that it was like an ethnic group versus another ethnic group. And entire families and villages had to basically just uproot themselves and just run from the violence. You can't stay there. So there's massive displacement in the country. And they all had to go into these refugee camps, okay? So that was what happened in 2008, 2007. All right, so just to show you a short video about what happened. So I wanted to give you a context of what happened in Kenya. The crisis happened in Kenya, and then pretty soon a lot of humanitarian groups will step in and basically try to fix the place. So in 2010, this non-profit organization called World Teacher Aid, they're now called Village Impact. They came in, and they basically, what they do is they focus on building schools in these refugee camps. Okay, so they'll go in, they'll build a classroom, they'll build an entire school so that the kids there can have an education. Because education is a multiplier, right? When a community has education, they provide opportunity, social mobility, the kids grow up, they have more opportunities. So education is a big thing, and a classroom is something that when you build, it lasts for many, many years. It's something that many thousands of kids will go through and enjoy, okay? So this organization, they've built 11 schools in Kenya, 88 classrooms, and they educate about 3,000 children every single day. So they were there in 2010, and they're still there today, all right? So can you give them a round of applause? Yeah. So this was the charity that Kenji found. And I want to ask you the question now. How much does it take to build a classroom in Singapore? Anyone have an idea? Anyone runs a tuition center here? You can promote your business also. No, anyone? Okay, I really don't know how much an entire school in Singapore would cost, because it's government run most of the time. But let's say you want to run, buy your own tuition center. I think it's going to cost you millions of dollars, right, in real estate prices, and then you maybe have 3 classrooms in there, all right? So it's going to be really, really expensive in Singapore to just build a classroom. So how much do you think it is to build one entire classroom like this in Kenya? $10,000, yeah? $500. No, it's close to that. It's about $15,000 US. And you build an entire classroom that will last for many years to come, and kids will use it for, for education, many, many thousands of kids. So it was US $15,000. And you know what? We sat down together and we said, you know what? Let's just do it. I mean, let's donate 15,000 US dollars, which is about $20,000 Sing. And we discussed it and said, yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's build a classroom. Let's build a whole, you can donate small amounts to contribute towards a classroom. But we said, you know what? Let's just build one classroom by ourselves, all of us, so that's what we did. We donated 15,000 US dollars to build one classroom for kids in Kenya. All of you have done it. So give yourselves a big round of applause. Now, 100% of your donation actually goes to building the classroom, because this nonprofit actually has their own operating business as well. They actually take care of the expenses. And the government actually comes in to provide the teachers and the aid to actually run the classroom. It's not just a shell. There's no point, it's just a shell, right? They actually need to be a classroom. So the government does that. So I want to show you this short video about what this charity is all about.
My name is Stu McLaren.
And we're the founders of the charity Village Impact.
And Village Impact really started so many years ago with Amy, who had an idea that she really just wanted to help kids in rural communities of third world countries and developing countries get an education. And, you know, for her, she started with a teacher background, and she just saw so many kids who wanted to be able to get an education who couldn't.
Yeah, and a lot of these kids there were no schools in sight. And a lot of the times, well, for all of our schools, they're built in IDP camps, which is internally displaced people. And what these families and people who they are families that were actually they had to leave their homes in times of violence. And in 2008, in the Kenyan elections, it turned really dangerous, really violent, and a lot of these families were told to just pick up and leave. And all these families were then assigned a plot of land in a new area with like nothing around it. Even in some of the places, the soil isn't fertile enough to grow anything, but they had to start over again. So all of the schools that Village Impact builds are in these IDP camp areas. So it gives these communities a chance to start over again.
And we really do it in 3 phases. Phase number 1 is what we call the make it happen phase. And this is where we build the school, like the actual school, we build it, and it's amazing. All of our schools have anywhere between 300 to 600 children who attend.
And we build them in partnership with the government. So we come in as an organization, we build with the community actually helps build the schools. We build the school, but then the government actually takes over the school and funds the teacher salaries and the principal. And
So that's phase number 1, is
Phase
make it happen. Phase number 2 is what we call make it awesome. And this is where we reinvest back into these communities. And oftentimes it's with programs like a feeding program, or it's with, electricity for the school, or it's with the needs of that particular
Or
community.
it's supplementing the books, because what happens sometimes is the government gives all the books for the classrooms, but they might have like 6 kids working on one book or reading one book. So we try to give them some extra resources to help that learning.
So the goal is always, like in the phase 2, which is the make it awesome phase, is to assess the needs of the community and to really help them really further their education and make it an amazing environment for the kids to really thrive. So that's phase number 2. Phase number 3 is what we call make it last. And so this is really where now we're looking to build a entrepreneurial college where all of the graduating kids of all of our schools can now attend and learn entrepreneurial skills.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. This is our newest phase, because we've been tracking the kids that have gone through primary school, through the high school, and now we're kind of entering this phase, looking and working with other organizations, building an entrepreneur college, but also having entrepreneurial summits that we're organizing for our high school kids, and all kinds of teacher conferences, all kinds of things to make it last.
So number 1, make it happen. Number 2, make it awesome. And number 3, make it last. And we just want to send a huge big thank you to you and to everybody there in the Fifth community for really supporting and helping this cause, because those kids are getting an education because of you, and the ripple effect of that is going to last for decades.
Yeah, thanks again to the community and to your founders for choosing Charity Impact, for choosing Village Impact and helping those kids in Kenya. So thank you.
You're awesome. You're amazing. Have a great time at the conference, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, so they actually, that was a thank you video. So they specially shot a thank you video about your donation and how it actually helps to build a classroom in Kenya. So give yourself a very, very big round of applause. Now I want to invite Victor and Rusmin up to actually share a few words about the charity and what they think about it. So why don't we give them a big round of applause.
Okay, he didn't tell me he's going to call me up also. Okay, actually while sitting down there, I feel quite emotional. I almost want to cry out now already. Actually, you can see a bit, because this thing, personally, it means a lot to us. Because the first day we started, we want to do things with purpose. We don't want to just make money for the sake of making money. And I told all of us that we must agree that we must do things for purpose with the money. So seeing this really makes me happy. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're not here. So it's a long journey. Ever since we founded, the early years was really tough. That's why we only set aside 19.4, right? Less than $20. And along the way, 5%. In fact, it was at a certain stage we nearly broke out. All right. In a way that one of the few initial products that we launched didn't really kick off, because not all of you know us. We just first started. Who the hell is this 5th person? Okay, so it was really tough. And one thing about entrepreneurship is that you have to persevere, and we did. And thankfully today we are here. I'm really, very thankful to all of your support. Okay, because all our hard work eventually now we are seeing is being paid off. And conducting events like these 2 days especially, we have some participant, Williams, Desheng, flew all the way from Hong Kong just to attend our event. Things like this, the feedback that you all gave it to us really mean a lot for us. And really, thank you so much. Thank you.